What up, this your boy Jefton Jones.
And Courtney.
And today we're going to be talking about the topic of modern marriages versus traditional marriages.
Okay everyone, so just to give you a little context on what the meaning of traditional versus a modern marriage. So basically a traditional marriage is where everything kind of relies on the woman. So the woman cooks, the woman cleans, the woman picks up the kids from daycare, or the woman stays home with the kids if they're a stay-at-home mother. And so a lot of people think that's the traditional way of doing things. A lot of people truly honestly believe that that is the only way you should be a woman, and that should be, you know, you're proud of it and you're joyous of it. And so I wanted to bring it to light because Justin and I's relationship isn't necessarily a traditional relationship. We like to refer to it as more of a modern relationship. And so we wanted to kind of share with you all what may be traditional is not what it's like, you know, the 21st century. And so we have modernized a lot of things. And so one of the things I can definitely say that was an issue for us in the very beginning was when we had to take our daughter to daycare. And so I was picking up our daughter, dropping off our daughter, and just everything in repeat. And when I got home, I also had to cook. And then after cooking, I had to clean up. And so it was a lot on me. And so I finally brought it to light to my husband, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I am exhausted every single day. Not only do I work 8 to 5, but it's exhausting. And so we had to learn to modernize our marriage.
Yes. I think it's one of those things where we get so caught up in traditions to the point where we just sort of, and for me, I just sort of thought that, you know, it was customary. It was custom for Courtney to come home from a long day of work and cook. Why? Because that's how I've grown up watching my mother go about her business, cooking every day. Until this day, my mom cooks every single day without fail. And I would consider that a more traditional style, or a more, traditional style of marriage. And so I just had sort of taken on that same principle of waiting at the house for Courtney to come home and then cook. And so something that didn't really strike home with me until Courtney brought it to my attention. And so now I'm more able to, try to prepare meals myself, or try to assist in preparing meals to the best of my ability.
And one of the things that, with our daughter, one of the things that we have created a schedule. And so Jefton works from home once a week, so that that one day I will pick up Cassidy from daycare and drop her off. But every other day, Jefton picks her up from daycare and I drop her off in the mornings. And so it works out for us. It works out for Cassidy. And I used to come home. It would be like 6:30 coming home. Now I can come home like around 5:30. And if Jefton has not made anything, like I can make something real fast. And then on the concept of food. And so I have heard that a lot of people say, oh, we need to cook from scratch. Everything needs to be fresh. Everything needs to come from a, plant or whatever. I don't have any shame of going to the frozen aisle in Walmart, getting frozen food and putting it in my freezer, because when I'm having a not so great day, I can put that frozen food in a skillet and make sure my family has food to eat without me stressing out over making sure I have the perfect meal. So, and it also helps Justin.
Yeah, and so some of those times where I'm able to prepare meals or actually cook the meals, I'll take that frozen pack, that frozen pasta that sits in the freezer, I'll thaw it out for a few minutes, throw it in the pot, and have food prepared by the time Courtney comes home, knowing that she's worked just as hard as I have worked, And when she comes home, because she comes home a little later than myself, by the time she gets home, she'll have some food cooked, and Cassidy and I will have things straightened up at the house.
Another thing with cleaning. So Justin and I, we have a board, and we'll show you in other videos about our organizational board. But we have it to where it's like, okay, we need to clean the refrigerator, we need to mop, we need to vacuum, we need to do all these different things. And so on the board, we can say, if these things need to be done. And so we just keep them on the board, so when somebody does them, they can cross it off. And it's not just, oh, Courtney, you need to do it all. It's, we're gonna do it together. I'm a neat freak. Justin definitely is. It likes everything nice and clean. He is definitely not a messy person. And so that keeps our life somewhat structured, because we can know, okay, all hands on deck when it comes to cleaning up the house. So
yeah, most definitely. Even when Courtney and I first started living with each other, I realized that I am not going to make Courtney sit when she comes home from work and clean every little thing in the house, because that would be selfish of me. And I'm not too sure that many marriages are still like that. I think there may be some still left. But as far as Courtney and I's marriage, I refuse to allow Courtney just to be the only one in the house cleaning, because I realize she works just as hard as me. She takes care of our child just as hard as me. She goes through things just as much as I do, and it would be selfish for me to fall into that mindset of making the woman cook and clean and do everything else by herself. So I do my best in cleaning up, and we try to make sure that everything is taken care of to make one another's life easier.
And so that's our little snippet on the differences between modern marriages and traditional marriages. If you all have other topics that you all want us to touch on, let us know, and feel free to comment.
We out.